This is a story of the Hasselblad X2D and my personal thoughts after having it in my camera bag for an entire year. Oh, and thank you MPB for sponsoring this adventure as well. When I accepted the X2D, I did so with a lot of confusion. I admired this camera, but I couldn't understand the need or necessity to buy what I deemed as luxury kit. After all, you can take incredible photos with almost any camera. But the X2D and other photographers using this setup seem to promise something different. Not just image quality, but an experience. I understand there may be professional photographers or particular photographers out there who need this kind of kit, but I was thinking more of the average landscape photographer, the average outdoor and nature photographer. Why would they choose this kit over something more cost effective? As somebody who owns older kit and other camera systems, I felt as though this was my chance to answer this question through my own experiences. That's when I started to notice the first cracks between what I expected this camera to be and do versus how it actually fit as a part of my camera bag. I decided very quickly that this camera did not fit my work process. I am a photographer first. Even before I did YouTube, I was a photographer. However, now I would describe myself as a hybrid photographer because I do enjoy and value video just as much as I do stills. I value versatility. I love having a range of focal lengths so I can photograph lots of different subjects. And it's taken me years to build up that flexibility, a flexibility that I'm now accustomed to. And the X2D just didn't seem to fit into that rhythm, and maybe that's where I was going wrong. I was trying to force it to fit into a rhythm and a workflow that it simply isn't suited for. By the way, I'm completely disregarding the fact that the X2D2 came out with video capability. We're just talking about this one. This camera is for a photographer who photographs with intent, loves to get creative, and enjoys slowing down. Now, in some ways that does describe me, so technically this should work for me too. But here's the twist. I think a part of me wanted to dislike this camera. I've always believed you don't need the latest and greatest kit to make meaningful work. And I wanted to prove that by knocking this camera down a peg, even though I liked the camera and had fun using it in the past. But the more I thought about it, the more I realised sometimes the limitations we see are less about the gear and more about us. That's when it hit me. There's a difference between actually admiring a camera, wanting a camera, and actually needing a camera. I am allowed to admire the X2D. I can admire what it does, the quality it produces, the way it feels to use, and the amount of aspect ratios that you have to play with. This is a very, very nice camera. I cannot fault the image quality. The menu system is lovely and simple, and it's a pretty sleek design, although maybe just a little too clinical for me. This is not the most comfortable camera that I've ever used. However, it's comfortable enough for me to be able to use it and be immersed in my photography and not completely distracted by ergonomics. Some bits of kit just slot into your rhythm of creativity or workflow easily, and others you must bend to fit. And the best ones are going to amplify your creativity, while the not so best ones are going to put up a wall. And the X2D has felt like a bit of a wall to me, but not a really tall wall. Sort of a knee height. It's very annoying that I have to step over it and think about stepping over it kind of wall. But maybe this says more about me. I have blurred the lines between video and photography, and I rarely do one without the other, and I felt the need to separate them a bit more for quite some time, which is ironic me making this video, but I've been trying to do more photography off camera that is just for myself, and I don't have that pressure to show anybody or to film the process. And so this camera fits better in that regard. I don't feel that pressure to use a function that the camera actually doesn't have. However, it still doesn't 100% slot into my camera bag. I had chosen the 55V lens originally for the camera body, and although I thought this was going to be a great choice, the perfect focal length for the versatile photographer, it never really fit my landscape photography. In the woods, I'm drawn more towards the intimate scenes, telephoto lenses, and macro subjects. Out in the open landscapes, I am a lover of wider dramatic scenes, even if it's not to other people's tastes. So I made a change. I swapped the 55V for a wide angle lens and a more budget-friendly standard lens, and this was not going to solve my hesitancy with this camera equipment at all. However, I wondered if a focal length that I was more drawn to for landscape photography would simply help. Now, I traded in and I bought these lenses with MPB, who are today's video sponsor, so I would just like to take a moment to thank them for sponsoring today's video. Whenever I'm ready to and know it's time to change kit, I always use MPB because they make the process so simple, easy and hassle-free, and everything is so clearly listed for you to look at. The condition rating, shutter count, you can see what is included and excluded with your item, and everything comes with a 12-month warranty as well, so you've got peace of mind. Every piece of kit is individually photographed by MPB's team of experts, which is fantastic because you can really get into these photos and you can take a look at exactly what it is that you want to buy, have a look at every camera corner, every inch of a lens. Orders are always shipped in plastic-free packaging, which I absolutely loved, and my lenses arrived so quickly, which meant that I could just jump straight back into doing photography and using them and seeing whether a change of focal length was sort of going to help my motivation a little bit with this camera setup. If you would like to check them out for yourself, I will leave a link to MPB down in the description box, and thank you once again MPB for sponsoring today's video. There's definitely a lot of talk and definitely some judgment in the photographic community about higher end kit, whether it's just unnecessary luxury and over-the-top consumerism, and it can absolutely be those things. However, I feel as though that's a different conversation for another day. But I think it brings up an idea of universal greatness versus personal fit. We all have very different needs, budgets, styles, emotional connections with our kit. An emotional connection is harder to explain. Some bits of kit just click, they just work, they slot into your camera bag perfectly. My Nikon DSLRs did, the OM1 that I now use also did, the OM5 interestingly didn't, and the Nikon mirrorlesses that I've tried before really didn't that much, but then I didn't use them enough possibly to give them a chance. And the Hasselblad X2D kind of fits, it clicks a little bit, but not completely.
Ergonomics often decides whether I'll use a camera or not. Any camera can take photos, and great photos, but how it feels to use can shape your motivation, something many of us underestimate.
You can argue that the reason why photographers get good results is from practice, consistency, and having the tools that are right for them. And what may work for me may not work for you. And so when I accepted this high-end piece of kit, I did wonder whether it would aid my photography in some way, and then I realized that no, it wasn't going to. Unless it was solving a limitation, it wasn't going to enhance my creativity in any way. No bit of kit will. The creativity comes from me as the photographer. In the back of my mind, I already knew this. I just sort of needed to make sure, and I'm the kind of person that I need to know the hows and whys of everything. I question everything, I need to understand things deeply. And I can't say that I still do understand somebody who would invest in this camera without actually needing to invest in this camera, but perhaps I'm just not supposed to understand, and I'm not supposed to understand other people's motivations because they're theirs and they're not mine. So where does this leave me with the X2D? I like it, but liking it is not the same as actually needing it. I think I'm kind of over it a bit today, but I think it's more of the focal length rather than the actual camera itself. Every so many days I kind of feel the need to switch it up a bit, and I'm definitely feeling that today. I kept saying to myself while I was hiking, I need my telephoto lens. But when I use this camera, I enjoy using it, and it's absolutely okay for me to enjoy using it, and it's absolutely okay for anybody to want kit and want high-end kit, to want to invest in their photography, whether it's for their hobby or their career.
What I don't agree is when photographers criticise each other's buying choices as if they share the same bank account. We're all allowed to want gear. We all have limits as to what is too much gear and what that means. And maybe I'm not supposed to understand those who invest in this kit. Let's be real, it's a bit nosy of me. For me, the only red flag is when people expect a camera to make them a better photographer, or to fix all of their problems. A camera like this, or any camera, will not do that. It won't make me better, and it won't magically make you better either. Higher-end kit may make it easier to take great shots through more advanced features. It could improve your hit rate depending on the camera, specs, and subject you're photographing. But you still need to go through that journey of learning and practicing your skills in photography to be a better photographer.
Okay, so a question, why do pro photographers then choose the higher end kit? Why don't they just buy the cheaper kit? If you can take great photos with any camera, then why are they choosing to spend more money and invest more into their kit? And again, this circles back around to the idea that we all have different needs for our kit. So some pro photographers will choose the higher end specs for the additional features that allows them therefore to have a faster work process, a smoother workflow. For example,
manual focus bracketing in macro photography in comparison to a camera that can automated bracket and stack in a much shorter time. Both methods achieve the same goal, get similar results, but one is faster and reduces the possibility of more human error or conditions shifting dramatically. Since buying an OM1, I've had comments of, that's cheap stuff, you can't take pro shots with that because of the sensor size, to, that's too expensive, and then, that's the best camera system I'll ever invest into. It's a whole spectrum of opinions, and some people are just loud about theirs.
in my opinion, the X2D is for the fine art photographer, for the professional or the hobbyist who can justify it, or for anybody that simply wants it. And wanting it is absolutely fine. I think ultimately the kit that you use should just be right for you. It should excite you, it should make you want to go out and do photography, and it should support your vision. I am absolutely knackered. Yeah, you know when you're done with the photography. I'm done with the photography for this video. So yeah, I guess all that's left is to simply wrap it up.
Photographers who have bought this camera and this setup, and those who accepted it as I did a year ago, who absolutely love it. I get it. I get it. And those photographers who have complete opposite feelings, they don't understand, they don't care for it. I can understand that as well. The price point is a big factor for many people, including myself, and it can take years to build up a camera setup. When I first got my first full-frame DSLR camera body, I only had one lens for it for years. It was years later before I bought a second lens. Just like many of you, I am a budget-conscious photographer. I think deeply about making camera and photography-related purchases. And I invested in the OM system this year, as many of you know. And it took a year, maybe a year and a half of saving money and also testing this kit time and time again to make sure it was right for me. It was exactly what I wanted. It was the right bit of kit to go into my camera bag before I actually then purchased it. And the fact that I invested into that instead of, I could have bought a lens for the X2D instead. And the fact that I didn't do that was very telling of my priorities and how this camera fit into my kit. And so this camera is unlikely to be a part of my camera bag going forwards. I've not made a definitive decision. Well, I think I kind of have, really. I think somebody else would enjoy this more and benefit from it more than I currently do. I like the camera, but I don't need the camera, and I'm finding myself not at this point in my photographic journey wanting it either. And you know what? I'm perfectly okay with this camera not being a part of my kit, part of my camera bag, and I'm incredibly grateful for the chance, the opportunity to experience this kit over the past year, but it simply isn't for me, and it's really difficult because I can't pinpoint apart from the things that I've talked about in today's video, can't really pinpoint a very specific, like, this camera doesn't do this, or this camera lacks this. This is a fantastic camera. It just quite simply is not for me. So that pretty much sums up my thoughts about the X2D. So yes, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you next time.